that move, we can't relate to that. I roll the dice, shit, if I lose, I'm gon' be shaking back. Cause lessons learned within the loss just elevate the fact that trial and error just the only way. Ain't no escaping that. I wake up, hit 100 push-ups, then I'm at my route. Check on my stocks, see how they looking, then I'm sliding out. When you start seeing your progression, you stop having doubts. And what's the point of having clout if you can't cash it out? True to this game, and I'm a lifer, ayy. Feel like we finna change the cycle, ayy. That's the most success, you know we thriving, ayy. That's the most depression for our rivals, ayy. Could teach a lesson on survival, ayy. You know I'm from the bottom.
What's with it? What's family? It's your boy David.
What's up with it, y'all? This your boy Jalen, man. One of the founders of Black Wealth Renaissance Podcast. We back at it again. I know it's been a little minute since y'all heard from us, man.
Y'all miss me?
Yeah, we been working.
I got locks now.
That nigga do got locks now. We've been working, life been lifing, but we still here, still coming to deliver some quality content.
For sure.
Make sure that we're giving you guys some value. Today, I'm really excited,
bro.
Yeah, we gonna get into a few just updates and stuff. So one of the most important updates in my life, I got a kid on the way, y'all.
Hey,
I got a kid on the way. I got a son. I got a son on the way. He's gonna be here in October, so I'm excited.
Been shooting up the club.
Man. Yeah, man. I have been shooting up the club, dog.
But nah, man, congratulations, my
Appreciate
brother.
you, my
Definitely, bro. I'm
brother.
definitely proud to see your journey is this, man. I've been here along with you. See it as your woman been growing and y'all about to have this little baby,
she look
man.
like a little watermelon right now. I hope she don't hear this.
No, but man, it's gonna be dope, bro. Fatherhood gonna look good on you.
Yeah, man.
Remember what we said? We was talking about with my boy Malik, man. Trying to be father figures, not dad bods.
Hey, yeah, man. I ain't gonna lie. It's been interesting. Just the things that you think about, you know, while your seed is coming into this world. I've definitely been just trying to get more healthy. I know for sure with a little son, he gonna be active. So I gotta make sure his ass can't outrun me. I gotta make sure I can beat him in all the sports at least
you
until
gotta stay on it, bro.
at least until about 18. I need to know not to try dad, but also to think about just I gotta protect them. I gotta protect my family and stuff like that now. So it's like this shit. It just changes your whole aspect. It definitely gives you some sleepless nights, just making sure, am I doing the right thing to provide for them? Am I doing the right thing? Am I making the right choices that's going to get us to the goal that's out there? So I'm looking forward to it.
That's what's up, bro. Yeah. It definitely make you focus. I only had a pregnancy scare. I ain't got no kids.
I definitely had a few of those before,
I don't know if
too.
I got no little one walking around that I don't know about. But yeah, no, it definitely puts you in a different mode. Just the idea that like, okay, I'm not living for me now. I got a legacy to provide. It makes legacy so much more real.
I'm not living for me. I'm living for 3 now.
Okay.
Yeah, bars. I'm not a rapper though.
That part.
Indeed.
Hell yeah. What's been new in your life, bro?
Man, bro, so I've been on this deployment life, been doing my thing, grinding, stacking paper, still stacking these coins, man. We're gonna get into this real estate game. Outside of that, man, family has been it's been a challenging time in my life with that. I recently lost my grandmother and my great grandmother.
Once again, sorry for your losses, man.
Appreciate y'all, brothers, man. I appreciate you pulling up to my grandma's funeral. That really meant a lot to me, my brother.
Yeah, man. You know,
like,
always here for you, bro.
Loss is one of those weird things where it's like everybody grieves different, and it always, to me, it puts things under a microscope. I hadn't lost nobody close to me since I was like 8. And I remember that when I was 8, and it was like just this deep feeling of like
remorse and stuff
like all these things that I couldn't do. But now, as I've grown and become adult, I recognize that like even though you may have lost a family member, they're not gone. They're still with you. And I choose to live with the memories and the lessons that my grandmother and my great grandmother instilled in me. So I just like I won't say that like it doesn't hurt to not have the people that you love anymore, but it makes it easier whenever you know that what you're doing, you're carrying that legacy on with you. I'm carrying that torch. The sacrifices my great grandmother made and my grandmother made to get me to the point where I am now, I'm about to take it and go crazy. Cause look, somebody got to be the first millionaire in the family.
Yeah, that's
a
fact.
Me, you heard me? We're going to break some of these generational curses.
Yeah, big wealth energy. We coming through it with it.
Okay,
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Put that on a shirt. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh, I like Yeah. wealth energy.
That part.
Yeah.
But indeed, but yeah, no, bro. Other than that, just stacking these papers, having some good times with my peoples, man. Trying to enjoy life with the people that mean the most to you, bro. Because I mean, what's life if you don't have nobody to enjoy?
That's a fact, man. Even with like us, I know at one point, especially whenever we was getting started with this, we were putting a lot of time and energy just into the business, and I know for sure, like personal relationship sacrifices, spending time with your family, you had to make all those sacrifices. But at the end of the day, what's really most important? So that's something good to always just keep in mind. You got your whole life to make money, but you don't never know when the person who means something to you gonna be gone.
And you making the money so that you can have
time with them.
Exactly. The money is always just a tool to buy the time. That's how we feel with this. But man, we back in the studio.
Let's go, man.
Like, come on, bro. Like, it been since what? When the last time we recorded? Like April?
Yeah, Easter.
I know y'all missed us.
On Easter.
I know y'all missed us.
Hey, look,
these other podcasts ain't hitting like the
BWR
we
coming back with vengeance, dog.
And y'all know we coming back. We punching you like T-Dub Crawford was beating up on my boy Errol Spence. You heard me?
You ain't had to do that. You ain't have to do that.
You ain't have to do that, bro.
I ain't gonna lie. Hey, that nigga live in Dallas. That nigga gonna see your big ass.
I'm sorry, I don't box. I slam, big dog. We can go for it.
Hey man, that nigga hit hard.
That's crazy.
You gotta catch him first, nigga.
Hey, that's crazy.
Facts, though. Let me start talking shit. Errol, you still got respect, big dog. That nigga did whoop your ass. We just keeping it.
Hell yeah, and I know you doing that. You bought some land too, so if you want to get on the pod, let's talk about it. How you build a generational wealth.
I like it. Look at shameless plug, man. Come on, man. We talking about we on positivity. We ain't on bullshit.
Hell yeah.
But again, y'all, we coming back at y'all with another pressure episode. Something long overdue. And man, cut that on in the background, man. Come on, turn me up. Oh, man.
Shit.
Come on,
It's fucking disconnected.
Man. We got a brother, man. I met him, this almost 2 years ago now, out here in DFW, and it's been amazing to see the growth from this man within his business in the real estate space. Y'all know BWR, man. We love to talk about real estate because that is the number one driver of wealth. And it's been great to see what this brother do, man. Brother out here from South Florida, you know what I'm saying? Pompano boy, man.
Y'all know Bryan County.
Came out here to Dallas and ran it the fuck up. One of the top real estate developers in the area. And he got some crazy stuff in the pipeline, some crazy stuff going on, and really been pouring back into the community to get this information that he got. We got none other than my man, Mr. Will Cyrus, a.k.a. PBD Will. Come on, man. Come on, man.
You saw that. You see it.
I see.
You see it.
Yeah, that's that part.
For sure. How you doing, brother?
Man, I'm doing good, man. I'm glad to be here, man. Appreciate y'all, boy, for bringing me on, man.
Ready to drop these appreciate you, dog. I just want to say, y'all, it is 10:37 at night, and this man is doing this with us. Once again, we hungry. That drive is there, and we gonna break through some walls. So appreciate you for doing this for us tonight, my brother. Appreciate that for real.
Definitely. Coming here pulling up all us on the suede,
looking all. He's looking like a Florida nigga, man.
You know how it be.
Suede with the platinum. Is that platinum, nigga?
Then he got the loafers on too.
Come on, man.
Comfortable as hell.
You already know, man. For the babies, man. That's what we say for the babies.
Yeah. But yeah, no, like as Jalen said, bro, really do appreciate you pulling up. I know I kind of briefly introed you, bro, but I always love for our guests, for all our listeners that may not know, they may be under a rock, never heard of you. Let them hear about Will and how he got into where he at now, man.
Man, I mean, to keep it a buck, man, like, you know, of course, my name is Will Cyrus from Pompano Beach, Florida, born and raised, filming Bride, kind of what we call it. My people, we moved to like Deerfield when I was about like 10, so we moved to Deerfield. So I was born in Pompano, raised in Pompano, my early years. We moved to Deerfield. So if you know anything about Deerfield, it's like 10 minutes away from Pompano. Pompano, they call it the Noya, the real Noya. In Deerfield, they call it the field. So we moved to Deerfield, you know what I'm saying, whatever, in the hood. You know, I was raised in the family like, you know, my dad was a dope boy back in the day, went to the feds, you feel me? So I come from a family full of everybody going to the feds, you know, catching big charges, big cases, whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? So I come from like a drug family, whatever, you know. We did in the streets. We got it out by the grace of God. You know, God, you know, put His mercy on me, His grace on me, and I was able to use my street smarts for good. So, You know what I'm saying? I went to college, played sports. You know what I'm saying? Ran track, played football, but obviously sports wasn't in my calling. You know, I wasn't gonna make it to the Olympics. The nigga wasn't fast enough. But you know, football didn't work out. I got injured, so I just had to figure out, okay, what was my purpose and what was my identity in life as a man. And us as black men, you know, we gotta really like sit down, like chop it up with God and figure out what our true calling is, because God has called all of us to be leaders. He called all of us to be kings, and he called all of us to be leaders, protectors, and providers. I call it LPP: leaders, protectors, providers for our families, our communities. You know what I'm saying? For our ladies, whatever the case may be. So I had to have, I call that real nigga moment, which I had to sit down with myself and be like, dang, bro, like, what you gonna do with your life? Like, at this point, I'm in college. The only thing I did was smoke weed, sell weed, and hunch girls. And I'm like, dang, bro, like, I ain't really got no drive, no purpose in life. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of crazy how everything went full circle. And I started my company, Purpose Building and Developments. But, you know, I was at like a real, like, dark place in my life. I'm like really trying to find myself as a man. You know, like, man, what am I put on this earth to do? What is my calling? Yeah, I'm making money, whatever. I was always a hustler. I'm gonna get money, you feel me? Regardless. But like, I wasn't getting no purpose. You know what I'm saying? And it hit different, you know what I'm saying, when, you know what I'm saying, you interact the two, when you marry the purpose with the profit. You know what I'm saying? God's planning the provision for your life. You get that clarity. It's like, it's just easy, bro. Like that stress that you used to stress about, like, how am I gonna do this? How am I gonna do that? Like, when you walking in that identity that God called you to, you know everything's gonna be all right. Like, even when like ish get messed up, you know, you may have a down season, cause it ain't always up. You feel me? You know, on the ground, you know, people like to make it seem like it's always like up there. You feel me? Like,
hell no, it's definitely not always up there.
No, definitely not, bro. But you know, that's kind of like a little bit of, you know, on my story a little bit. You know, I came a long way, got it out the mud. I ain't had no mentors, you know, no rich aunties, nobody to give me a hand out. You know, it was just me thugging, God, figuring stuff out, you know, spending money, making mistakes, you know, talking to God, you feel me? And like figuring it out, bro. It just landed the way it did, you feel me?
So I was just about to say, what led you to the real estate route? Had you tried any other entrepreneurial endeavors before you got into real estate?
Yeah, that's a good question, bro. So like, before I stepped in the real estate game, like,
oh boy, so you've been a hustler your whole life.
I've been a hustler my whole life. You feel me? Like,
a businessman. I don't say just a hustler, a businessman. Come on,
a businessman. You already know, like, you know, of course, like where we from. You know, any black community, I ain't gonna make it seem like we just so much tougher than everybody else. But like, one thing I will say, boy, some different kind of hustlers in Broward County, Florida. Like, boy, we just get it a little different. So, you know, I was a hustler. You know, I did what I did. I ain't gonna talk on nothing. You know, shout out to them boys, you know, wherever they at, whether they dead, whether they in jail, feds, that's, you know, shout out to them boys. But like, we did what we did, you know. But for me, I started to use my smarts for good, because a nigga was always like smart, like super smart. Like, I understood like how the world worked, like deductive reasoning, kind of like an educated Tupac, like a business Tupac. You feel me?
I like that.
You know what I'm saying? So like, you know, I just started like thinking about stuff. I'm like, okay, bro, like, okay, I should go to getting insurance. So like, I don't know, I was crazy enough to get into insurance in my early 20s. So I ran my bag up in insurance. You know, did extremely well in insurance.
Insurance sales, right?
Like insurance
as an agent.
Yeah, life insurance, health, and annuities. I was in the hood, you know, sending out mailers, you know, because I mean, I'm an ex-hood nigga. I kind of talk a little country, a little hood. Who's going to let me be their financial planner is what I thought at first.
But in all reality, you exactly who they were looking for, because I know, like, I'm from small town. Jalen visited the town with my people from Church Point. I remember up until early 2000s, it was this white dude that would come door to door, knocking on people's houses.
Billy Graham and door knockers.
Selling insurance policies, collecting the money still. So, like, imagine how refreshing it is to have somebody that look like me, that can talk like me, relate to me, that actually know this information.
Real talk, that part, for sure. So, like, you know, that's how I went. Like, you know, I got into insurance, make my bag there. Then I was like, dang, bro, like, I got a couple hundred G's right now. Like, I done ran up a couple 100,000. Like, what am I gonna do with this? So I went and bought some land, you feel me? Start buying land, different places, trying to figure out what I was gonna do to flip my bag. And then, like, God kind of gave me the vision, like, for Purpose Building and Developments. And I was crazy enough to just listen to God, bro. Like, not to make it like so spooky deep, but like for me and my story, that's how it went, bro. Like, God literally told me, like, all right, you gonna name this company Purpose Building Developments. You know, I'm from the hood, so I'm like, bro, I'm like, what the hell? Like, that lame man name, like, I'm finna get picked on, but like, you know, you from the hood, I ain't finna get no hoes in there. You feel like,
but that's the beauty about business. Business ain't about hoes. Business about that money.
Like, you feel me? I be talking to God like I'm in like he's a hood nigga. I'm like, man, this name lame, God. That ain't lame man name. I'm like,
you ain't got nothing better for me, my dog.
You know what I'm saying? You feel me, man? Like, what you talking about, bro? Purpose Builder. My name is Purpose Builder Development. Like,
but what made you act on that name and say, okay, I'm gonna listen to you?
That's good, Jalen, because right, whenever we start talking about that, we talk about this often between ourselves. Obedience.
Yeah.
Whenever you get a message from God, do you follow that message?
Yeah.
Because like it's easy to hear it sometimes, but the harder part is obedience. So what made you stick with it? Because you said the name Lane, you know what I'm saying? But here we are 10 years later. I got it on the chain. I said,
nigga, you got a truck wrapped in it.
You heard me?
I got a truck wrapped in it, man. I don't know, bro. Like, God just was like, bro, he like, you know, when God tell you something that's really from God, he won't let you go to sleep without you completing his mission. So it was really like one of those things for me. Like, I was running away from God for a long time. Even when a nigga was doing what he was doing, like, I call it street activities, whatever. You know, like, you know, I may not look like what I've been through, but you're not supposed to. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, I just, you know, I was disobedient. You know, I was like, I don't want to do that. I would rather go do this. I'm doing well in finance. I'm just going to stick to finance. And he just kept beating on me like, hey, I want you to start this business. I want you to start this company. So right before the pandemic, I was like, all right, God, I hear you, bro. I'm going to do it. All right, cool. I'm going to get this lame name. I'm going to get picked on probably. It's kind of corny. And I didn't really understand the significance of what God was saying to me those years before. So, you know, it really was like that eureka moment, I call it, when I went to, you know, when I went to get my LLC from LegalZoom. I hit up LegalZoom at like 2 a.m. in the morning, picked up my phone, clicked some buttons, went to LegalZoom. All right, let me see if this lame ass name available. Like, I'm cursing, but like, it's just really, I'm just trying to keep it a buck. You feel me?
I feel you.
So I said, all right, this time I know it's probably from the devil. So if I look this name up and it's taken, then I'm going crazy. What's that bad weed I used to smoke back in the day or something? So I'm like, looking at my phone. I look. It said in the state of Texas, it says Purpose Builder in Developments is available. I said, damn.
I gotta go ahead and take it.
I gotta tell you, man. They like, at least that's what I thought it was at that time. I thought it was lame, bro. Like, I ain't gonna cap with you. And, you know, to everybody else, they like, man, I love that name, man.
I love
that
it myself too.
At the time, like, I ain't really see much value of stock in it. It just was like, all right, God, I hear you, I guess. And then, bro, I kid you not, bro. I was obedient to God. You know, he talk about obedience is better than sacrifice. And I just did it, bro. I was crazy enough to just, all right, God, I'm gonna trust you. You know, hey, this is what you told me to do. It sounds a little crazy. I don't really understand this right now. I hear what you're saying, but it's kind of like, all right, we gonna see what happens. If it don't work, then I ain't listen to you no more, bro. That's how I was like. And then, before you know it, bro, like overnight, bro, Purpose Builder just, it blew up, bro. Turned to a multimillion-dollar company, like, just off a simple, like, still voice from God, like, you know, over, you know, maybe a two-year period of, hey, I want you to do this, I want you to do this. And then just being obedient, like, God just blew my mind, you feel me?
Mm-hmm. So before this, you had no experience in real estate, right? You never worked in the arena or anything like that. And when you getting into real estate, you didn't go for like most people, right? Most people trying to get the base hit. You came in
some rental property and shit like that.
Yeah. You came into deals that were larger, right? Your first deal. Can you kind of talk about that one, son?
Oh, yeah, for sure. So like, you know, like, I had my experience was like, I was always aware around the type of dude, like I understood like just about any industry, and I had a finance background, so I understood banking, right? How bankers like think, right? How underwriting works, how if you want to like get funded for something, like how to position yourself from a finance perspective, you feel me, in order to get approved. Because in order to get into real estate development, new construction, flipping, no matter what you're trying to do, remodeling, investing, you gotta have some capital. You know, and how else are you gonna get this capital? You gotta figure out creative and innovative ways to, you know, raise funds. You know, some people do, you know, I call it like, syndicate funding, right? Where they go ask community, friends, and families. But, I wasn't trying to be trying to hold no church building fund. You feel me? I'm trying to go to these banks, talk with these white folks. Like, all right, cool. How do I need to position myself? How do I need to leverage myself? What is that next step? What does that look like? So I got my credit right, got my credit together, and when they got all these business credit cards, at 0% APR. So I had maybe 80,000 at the time. I didn't really understand at that time the power of what business credit could do.
80,000 at 0% APR for 12, 18 months?
Yeah, 12, 14, all in between. So I just had all this cash. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm like, damn, I ain't gotta use none of my money, so what I'm gonna do next? So at that time, this was before all the laws and regulations got strict on hard money lending for new construction. So I didn't have the experience like that. Right. So my experience at that time was I did some flips, but I didn't have no new construction experience. So I had to literally search the country for a lender that would use, my non-experience and give me money towards a deal. So I found the lender, and the lender was like, okay, as long as you have a GC that has experience and you put down 20%, we'll fund your deal. 100% the land and construction. So before that, I had, when they got a land loan, which is hard as hell to find too, to find a company that would lend on land. Because I had a great land opportunity, so I just, all right, let me go get this land opportunity.
Was that in Florida or was that in Texas?
No, I was in Texas.
Okay.
So I had land, but I was I found a real, my first deal, it was a land, it was 40-something thousand. So I'm like, all right, let me, this is a good deal. I want to, I want to roll all this into one. I don't want to use any of my money or my land. I want to try this. I want to try to figure this out, because if something go wrong, it ain't my land. It's the bank land. Y'all can have it. So I went and did that deal. Got a land loan on this deal. One of my homeboys, wasn't a homeboy, but a realtor, he brought the deal to me, and he had a homeboy, and his homeboy had a partner on this piece of land. And I said, all right, bro, sell it to me. Whoop, whoop. So went through that, got my credit right, boom, had the business lines of credits, and then boom, this was crazy, bro. Everything lined up. I refinanced that land loan into a construction loan. The hard money lender, funded the whole deal, put down my money I had to put down, and literally, boom, they gave me all the costs of construction. I think this deal, it was $280,000. So including the land, it was $280 plus $40. So I don't know, call it $320. Around $320. And I had to put down my 20% because they want you to have skin in the game. So mind you, this deal was before everything changed. So the information that I would give people today is way different than what I did.
What year we talking with this?
This was end of 2018.
Okay.
Yeah. So 2018 is way different from 2023. Laws, regulations, a lot of banks failing. 2023, a lot of banks and hard money lenders are going out of business. So they have much stricter laws than what they had in 2018. It was just Oprah, you want a loan, you get a loan. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
As long as you meet the right criteria, you getting that damn loan.
You getting that damn loan. Now they be like, oh shit, we want you to build 30 homes. They crazy, and you gotta have a real good relationship and a track record of actually doing what you say you're gonna do. Back then, you just needed a GC, and they'll loan it to you. Well, I ain't gonna say all people, but my specific lender. So that happened to me. God just lined it up.
And when you say your specific lender, I'm sure you didn't go to a JP Morgan Chase or something that. You went to one of the local banks, right?
No, I went to a little shark. It was a little. I'm glad he ain't gypped me, but a little local small deal. Hard money lender. He brokered the deal. He was like a broker. So how the brokers work is they go and find you deals. They'll present your case, to a large pool of investors, right? It's a pool of people, hard money companies all across the country. He found me some company way out in goddamn Portland. I think it was in Portland. Riverbend Lending. They was way in the middle of nowhere. And the deal just worked.
Yeah. So they liked the numbers and they made it happen.
Yeah, they made it happen. So
with that, I just kind of want to make sure we paint the picture for us. So you had the funding, right, on your credit cards, business credit cards. You use that to make the down payment on the hard money loan. And then the hard money you use to pay back that construction loan.
Yeah, so like the hard money is like they give you in draws, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my first draw, you know, I use my business credit, right? So my first draw for my guys to start cutting down trees and, you know, getting the pad set before you can put down forms for foundation was like maybe like everything like, I don't know, $8,000. So I just used my credit card, did a cash advance, paid my guy, and then called my hard money loan and said, hey, I need $14,000. They sent the money over, paid off the credit card, and had $6,000. Do the same thing, rinse, wash, and repeat. Now, you're not going to use your money. You're using the credit card, cash advance, however you want to use it. Some of your guys have, I make the guys get
Payment
credit card processors,
mm-hmm.
and I pay them a little 3% fee if I got to, whatever. Or I tell him, like, hey, this how I'm going to pay you so you can make sure you got 1099. So you need to set this up and send me an invoice. Whatever.
I got you. You got them getting legal and structured as well, making sure that you can process everything the right way.
The right way. Because I ain't trying to do cash advances every time.
Yeah.
But some lines of credits will give you like the money right then and there. You ain't got to pay no processing fees.
Mm-hmm.
You just got to pay interest on what you draw, what you pull. Mm-hmm. No different than a regular credit card. So that's how I did it, bro. I ain't used no money, bro. Like, I just used their credit cards. 12 to 18 months. Only take you, depending on how big the house, between 3 to 6 months to build a house. And I did it at one time. I was like, damn, but it's been sweet. Like, I made what I made. I made like well over 6 figures. I'm like, oh damn, bro.
Off one deal?
Well, one deal, bro.
So I want to know, how'd you find the GC? Who'd you find to go in as the GC to get that deal done?
So the dude I use, I ain't even really use him. Like, the deal who brokered the deal, he put somebody on there.
I got
you.
He
like kind of Negro rigged it and made it work.
He made it happen. It was kind of like a ghost GC type
ghost
shit.
GC. He never showed up to the project, but I had to pay him an extra like points.
So they make you pay for points. His experience.
Yeah, when you do a deal like the bank, the broker, right, or the lender, they want you to pay points on the deal.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The more riskier you are, they're gonna make you pay more points. So I probably paid like 4 points, 4.5 points on this deal, whatever. But it is what it was.
And points is a percentage of the overall
construction price, right?
Okay.
So 4%, I think the construction budget was like $320, whatever.
Okay.
So I had to pay like 4 points or 4.5. It was 1 or the 2, which I was like, I ain't tripping. I'm like, I got my business credit.
That 4 points, just to be clear, 4% of 320,000.
Yeah, so you do 320,000 times 4%, and then it was like whatever it was.
I'm gonna do the math for us.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you basically GC'd everything yourself?
Yeah, I did everything myself. Like,
and that's crazy, bro, because that was your first intro to real estate. Like, you didn't.
Well, I understood construction because I grew up in the hood.
Mm-hmm.
So when you grow up, everybody in my family, all my granddaddies and stuff, like, because them boys had like, they were felons, convicted felons. They can only do construction jobs.
Yeah, they
get. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So like, I grew up around niggas working with their hands that understood construction. My granddaddy did masonry and concrete and stucco, so I understood like construction, like how to build a house, like I understood that part. But I self-taught myself the business side. And that business side is with the financing, creative financing. Mm-hmm. How to like think and like figure out how to get the money. The credit cards. How to talk to banks. How to go find new lenders, new banks. How to go find subs and contractors. That's the next hardest part. Is that's cool. You got construction experience. How do you build a team, right? How do you get people who are going to finance your deals? How do you? It's a whole system, and I talk about that.
That was one of the parts that I wanted to get into, was that team part, right? Because once again, I know you're not physically out there laying the slabs or anything like that. So how'd you find people you can trust who can actually carry out the work for you?
So, bro, like, really, like, on my first deal, I ain't gonna lie, bro, I had some trash contractors, boy, like.
You gotta get them growing pains in. That's the school of hard knocks right there.
Nah, for sure. So I ain't even gonna cap, bro. Like, I try to keep it a buck. You know what I'm saying? Like, some people on the ground, they stunt for the ground, they stunt on podcasts, but it wasn't, like, all glorious on my first deal. My second deal, it went a lot better. It was good. On my first deal, I just.
So you got a few niggas ran off on the plug and shit like that?
Oh, yeah, bro. I lost about 30 bands, bro.
Ooh, damn.
Like, yeah, like, bosses take losses. You feel me? It wasn't sweet, bro. And, like, I was 38 hot at the time, you feel me? But, you understand the game. It is what it is, like, bro.
I'm glad you said that. So, how'd you not let your past and your street life say I'm about to go fuck this nigga up because he didn't ran off on me with my money?
Really, my relationship with God, dog, like, you know, I came a long ways, like, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and, like, you know, yeah, I ain't gonna lie, I contemplated, you know, I was trapped out. I wanted to go run down
30 bands, I want to beat a nigga ass, too.
Bro.
I ain't gonna hold you. I just keep it real. I want to take a blunt metal object and bust your ass, nigga. You took $30,000 of my dollars?
Yeah. So, to be fair, like, one dude was 18, the other dude was 4. It totaled up 30,000.
Yeah,
it's still.
So one dude was 18. That was the most on one specific F up during that whole project. You know what I'm saying?
Sheesh.
So nigga ran off 18 bands on me, bro. Like, I was like, damn, bro. Like, you know, I was 38. Nigga wasn't picking up the phone call no more. He ran off on the plug. Made it seem like it wasn't his fault. I ain't know what I was doing. Which in a sense, I kind of did, but at the same time, he didn't do the work right, and it was clear, right? So, you know, nigga played me, you know what I'm saying? But I just went back to my street side, like, damn, bro, like, you know, it's just like a nigga gave you some bad dope. Like, you should have knew your product. That's on you, bro. You supposed to know what's going on. And I made it my effort to know every aspect of my business, learn every aspect from supplies, how much materials cost, you know, supply chain. You know, how to get stuff from China. Like, that's even a part of real estate development. Like, you look at my houses on social media, man, I go to China, I go to different countries, India, wherever, and I just self-taught myself on how to get stuff for the low, get stuff for the cheap. Just like a nigga in the street, if you was selling dope, like, you know what I'm saying, where your plug gonna be at, you feel me?
You ain't gonna be in America.
It ain't gonna be in America. Like, he gonna be in a different country. So, you gotta understand supply chain and learn that and figure out how to get things that are, you know, at a cheaper, you know,
rate.
cheaper rate, but still push out a great quality and a great product. You know what I'm saying? So I just learned all that stuff, bro. Just researching, getting on the internet, you know, going to China. Like, well, I ain't actually go to China, but
like talking with the people,
like talking with people
sourcing
in
the
China.
materials,
yeah, finding somebody overseas that's going up. You know, when you order something from somebody in China, you gotta ship it here. So you gotta find you a broker out there in China. You feel me? That's gonna go and grab your stuff, put it on a shipping container, get it here, whoop, like all that, bro. It's a process in the system, no different than, you know, I tell like niggas in the street, like, you can do this too, like, like, it's, if you really think about it, you sit down, you think about it. If you're a real boss, bro, like real boss, bro, like, I'm gonna say this, like,
the skills transferable.
The skills transferable. More importantly, like, I always tell people, like, if somebody came to me and tell me, oh, I'm a drug dealer, I'm like, oh, you a peon, bro. Because real drug dealers don't sell drugs. You got people on the corners selling the drugs. You talking with the plug. You the big boss. You brokering deals to get demo work.
No, you don't even refer to yourself as a drug
you
dealer.
wouldn't. You know what I'm saying? That's lame. That's like, you not making no money. Like, if you a murderer in the streets, like, you lame. Like, to a real boss, it's like, you out here killing people. Like, if you was a boss, you wouldn't have to do that. You a crash dummy, you wouldn't have to do that. Like, why you? That's like peon. That's like low level. Like, we don't. What you talking about, bro? Like, so, you feel me? Like, same thing with real estate, bro. It's like, when you really sit back and think about it, you like, dang, bro. Like, I can just sit up here, call shots, move pieces of the puzzle together. You know, figure out how to run my business in an effective and efficient way. Learn supply chain, because construction is supply chain. Learn banking, right? Just like any business. How to get financing. You go get your MBA. That's gonna be certain components of, you know, your business curriculum. It'll be what? Supply chain, finance, accounting, and what else?
Yeah,
marketing. You know what I'm saying?
These are
the same thing. All that stuff is applicable in running a 7-figure business. Like, you gotta, and then you learn it in the streets, whether you know it or not. If you're not paying attention, you know, so you kind of lose sight of that. But it's the same thing. You feel me?
So that first deal, right? I know you said profited over 6 figures. What was, whenever you hit that bag, right? Was that the first big 6-figure like check that you had got, like, for something like that?
Well, real estate, yeah. But when I was in insurance, I was making that too. Like, that was easy. Like, I made a bag in insurance too. So, like,
so when you say a bag, I don't want to just count your pockets, but what we talking? What
nah,
you mean?
fuck it, I'm counting your pockets. I want to know what you was making, nigga.
Nah, like, insurance, bro. I made well over 6 figures in insurance, bro. Like, I was making a bag, bro. I had $100,000 deals, like insurance policies. You know, I did a whole life case on a dude I met at a networking event. The dude was kind of a little loopy, a little crazy, whatever. But him and one of my joint work partners, so insurance, we call it joint work. You know, he had a little bit more experience in like dealing with like complicated, like, you know, high ticket insurance cases. So I did a joint work case with him and made like 100 bands. And then I had a whole lot of deals like that, working with doctors and lawyers. I'll be making like 10 bands on a deal, 12 bands. Yeah. And you doing 4 of those a month. Like, I was making some good bread on top of like sending the insurance mailers. So I was Billy Graham and a door knocker. You send out an insurance mailer, you know what I'm saying, to a hood zip code, and then they sign back. You know, grandmas, she checked their mailbox. Older people for some final expense and burial insurance. You send them a mailer, tell them the right day, signature, whatever the case may be. They gonna sign it, fill it out, put it in the mailbox, or however they do it, and they send it back to your P.O. box or your virtual mailbox. Then I go get my virtual mailbox, like, damn, but I got like 300 signatures on these cards. And then you go knock on the lady door, and then she be like, oh, you know, you be like, hey, you know, I'm just following up on this insurance request for final, you know, for burial insurance. Then they'll be like, oh, no, I ain't do that. No, that wasn't me. And you look at the card, like, you sure this not your signature right here? Oh, no, that ain't me. And then you'd be like, all right. I'm like, well, if this isn't you, I need to call, you know, the federal agencies to get them to come to this house because there's some type of, you know, fraudulent activity going on. And she looks, oh, I need that like 2 million.
That's a cold ass line, dog.
I was just saying, like, you a hustler, you gotta be quick on your toe. You feel me? You know, and then you getting their highs, sign that insurance policy, make your little $500. You got the whole street sold up. You know, you selling crack. You 500 here, 500 there. You walk out that day with $3,000. You do that every day.
And the better part about it, instead of selling fucking crack and destroying your community, you're giving people something that they actually need. Because how many times in our community we see the fish fries? Again, I just said that in the intro of the pod. I just lost both my grandmothers. Luckily, they had insurance in place so that we wouldn't scraping together. Family didn't have to come out of pocket to do that.
That part.
Like, you're not destroying your community, you're building your community, and you're getting paid well to do it.
Exactly, bro.
Hey, man, that's hard, dog. I like the method that you took as well, because you did the final expense route, and you targeted the old folks, the people who going to check the actual mailbox, dog.
Exactly.
That's hard.
But now I kind of want to get into this, right? So you've been a hustler, businessman. I want to talk about the financial literacy side of things, right?
For sure.
So, like, making money is one thing, but keeping it is a completely different. So,
real talk.
When did the financial literacy piece come in for you as well? Because I know that definitely is a big part of building a development business.
Yeah. So, like, really, bro, like, I was like that hood nerd, you feel me? Like, I was always up on finance. Like, you know, my senior year, we took, what's that class we had to take, man? Not world economics.
Yeah.
I was always like a world economics type of dude, like, looking at CNN when I was a jit. We say Florida, we say jit. I've always been into like finance, and numbers, and world economy, and looking at other countries and how they do business, you know, how they make money. And then it kind of crazy, like when it came to like, you know, if you doing what you doing, whatever, you know, supply chain, you know how to talk that language, you understand world trade, you understand like how I go, shipping, whatever the case may be. So you just kind of like learn, you understand like, dang, bro, like this is how big business is done at a high level. Now I don't know, you know, I was never the type of nigga in the hood that wanted shoebox money. Yeah. Like I always was like, I'm gonna let y'all niggas be flashy, do what y'all do. That's cool, y'all boys. Do it that way. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's cool, but I'm on some next level stuff. Yeah. Like I'm trying to make some millions. I'm trying to make a couple M's. You know, football, I may not make it in football. Though I was really good at football. And I got a whole story about that. Like, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, it just, I was always big business. I was a student. You know, I read. I went to the library. I'm trying to gain knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to understand things because I ain't $10,000 flashing it on my back there in MySpace. That's low level thinking. Like, nigga, they're like, yeah, you get one of these little hood hoes, whatever, that's cool, whatever.
But you run through your little 10 bands trying to
real fast.
You feel me?
That 10 bands could have made you 100.
Could have made you 100 if you knew how to think right? If you knew how to like play the game. And like anybody like in the streets and in the hood, like where I'm from, if you was really, really like pushing them P's or whatever, like you learned how to like speak to these. Cause think about it. Somebody selling coke, right? There's a certain type of clientele who can purchase cocaine, right?
Yeah. You gotta have a little bread.
You gotta have a little bread. So these people that are coming to buy that type of product from that person, you know, there are people that, you know, are doctors, affluent businessmen, affluent people, right? You need to talk to those people. Like, what do you do for a living? Like, can you tell me about, you know, deals you broke, blah, blah, blah. You'll be amazed the type of gems you can get if you was a smart street nigga, right? If you just a little corner boy, you having a conversation. You know what I'm saying? So corner boy, you having those, like, I remember I was like 13 having those conversations, 12, like, I'm a jit. But of course, like, you know, God did other things in my life, so I didn't have to continue to have those conversations, whatever. But, you know, it's just like, when you really think about how life works and how everything goes full circle and how God, like, uses the bad in your life and turn it for good, it just be, like, crazy. Like, when you look back on it, like, okay.
It was all for a reason. Yeah. Like you say, you got a plan. We might not see it right then and there. Trust and believe. Whenever you go through them storms and them different seasons, it may seem like it's like, damn, nigga, it's gonna keep coming down. Like, can I get a little sunshine through the rain? But the rain, how Frankie Beverly and them said it?
It's my joy and pain.
Yeah, the joy and pain.
And like sunshine.
Yeah, it wouldn't feel so good if it wasn't for the rain.
Yeah, that's 50 Cent.
Oh shit, my bad.
Joy wouldn't feel so good if it wasn't for pain.
Yeah, for sure.
I think he stole that from Frankie then, man.
He might have, but I know for sure he said that shit.
He said that too, yeah. That part, yeah.
Okay. But that's okay, so damn, I forgot where I was going next.
If you forgot where you going, I know what I kind of want to get into, right? So once again, you made this transformation. You said, okay, I'm gonna get my shit together. I'm done smoking weed, fucking these hoes and everything. What did you do to change in your daily life? Like, what's your daily routine looking like now to help you keep the success?
For me, man, like, the biggest thing, man, I gotta wake up and talk to God, bro. Like, you know, that's my biggest aim. I try my best. You know, Sundays I don't. I be doing stuff I shouldn't be doing, mess with these girls. But, you know, but, like, on the cool, though, like, you feel me? Like, my biggest thing, I got to start my day with God, bro. Like, because, like, now, I'm humbled because I know where I come from. And I know I got so many homeboys that I grew up with, or people that I just know that they either in jail or they dead, bro. Like, my best friend that really got me on this path, he committed suicide.
Damn. Yeah. Sorry to hear that, brother.
Yeah, sorry to hear that, man.
You know, it's a part of life, dog. You feel me? You know, my dog, rest in peace to Jarvis Cooper, he committed suicide in 2011. And I was in college in my junior year. I was 32 now, so at that time I was 2011. How old I was? Yeah, about I was 21. So I believe that's my junior year. You know, he died right around Thanksgiving. So, you know, before that, God was like pulling at me, trying to get me to change my life, do things a little differently. But that really like gave me that push that I needed to, like, all right, man, let me go to church or something. Let me figure something out, because now I really see, like, bro, I'm really lost in this world, bro. Like, as a black man, bro, I thought I had a clue because I was making some little shoebox money. I had some bands on me or whatever. I thought I understood the epitome of life. But when I looked at the totality of my situation, bro, like, I was a sad, lost individual. You know, a sad young man with no purpose, no direction. And had I continued to go down that route, bro, who knows, bro, like, could have been dead or in jail. You know, it really was my only routes with the mentality that I had. Because, you know, life, money, success is really 100% mentality. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to say 40% mentality and 60% God. But your mentality has a lot to do with it, bro. Like, the way that you think, bro. What did you think? The way that you think about this world, what did you think about this life, and the way that you think about God is everything when it comes to, like, as a black man or a man in general, and how you get to that next level in God, how you get to that next level in business, how you get to that next level in leadership, leading your family, leading your community, whatever the case may be. Like, as a man thinketh, right? As a man will be. That's just what it is. How you think, bro, it impacts every aspect of your life. So.
That was a good answer. Yeah. And I hate where I'm about to go with this, man. But I have an intrusive, ignorant thought, man. I have an intrusive, ignorant thought, bro. Nah, man, I gotta ask this shit, man. I know you say you be messing with these women, dog. Have you ever had to sling some penis to close a deal, man?
Yo. Hey, I ain't even gonna hold you. Like, I've never had to, because I'm not a realtor. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, now I will say this, like, they be slanging the coochie at me. Like,
they try to get their list.
They trying to listen, you feel me? it hit different. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, look, you know what I'm saying? This is a 7-figure house. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? She know in her mind, like, really, I could change her life.
Yeah, like, this nigga's building
I'm
it.
changing their lives, like, cause like I done made my millions in real estate. You know, all grand, no scandal. You feel me? So it's like, you feel me? Women, I've noticed is they look at me like, dang, bro, like, oh, if I sell one of his houses, he got $500,000 listing. He got like
I can lock his ass up and get all of them.
Get locked on, whoop, whoop. And then in her mind, like, she putting on her phone. You feel me?
She seeing vacations and Louis bags.
Hey, so she said 500,000 times 3%. Oh, that's 15 bands she gonna make listing my house. Oh, this nigga got 6 on. Like, I could really change a girl's life. You sell 6 of my houses, and I got a lot of projects. I got over 40 homes I gotta build.
What, 6 times 15? That's
just if the house is 500,000.
We were rolling that as the median.
90,000. I could change her life. Like, most niggas can't really put a girl in a position to make no 90 bands, 100 bands, whatever. So like, really, I'm changing her life. Like, she can't change my life. You know, well, she could change a little bit. She get my houses sold and make my 200, 150. But that's how it be. Like, they be trying to like slang it on me because I ain't gotta slang it on her. You feel me? To close no deal. It's just,
I got y'all. I just wanted to maybe you if you had a plot of land, you know, she ain't want to sell it or something like that. Hey, baby, I need that.
I got a little something that convince you otherwise. You know what I'm saying?
Sorry for my intrusive thoughts, man.
Slang opinion for property is wild. So
Yo. Property P.
Pushing P.
Literally a new definition for pushing P, dog.
Pushing P.
Wow.
Glee.
Hey, yeah. Sorry, y'all. Sorry, y'all.
That's funny as hell. But no, Will, damn it, boy. You dumbass. You got me off the track again. No, but I'm back at it. So, Will, no, bro, you posted on your story earlier today something that I wanted to talk about on the pod. You said, bro, you just talk about it. $4 million in the pipeline with this development that you got going on, bro. First off, tell me how it feel, brother. That's what I want to know. How does it feel knowing that, like, damn, bro, there's $4 million in the pipeline. You know what I'm saying? I just gotta make it happen.
I mean, honest, bro. Like, type of nigga I am, bro. Like, I just be like, man, it's just some money, man. I don't get too lost in the sauce. You feel me? Like, I don't be counting sheep. You feel me? I don't be like so focused on the money, like trying to touch it. I just go down and I grind, you feel me? And I get into leadership. So my mind's all about leadership. The better I lead, the more realizable and attainable it is to go get this bag. Because it's really all about leading these people towards an objective and a goal, making sure they get what they need financially, treating people good, your contractors, the people that work for you, because that's gonna make you get to that 4 million. It's making sure that they get whatever they need along the way. You know what I'm saying? I got to pay them too. So part of that 4 million that I'm making, I may spend like 13. When I say 13 million, like the bank money, I'm gonna spend a whole lot of the bank money in order to get there. And a part of that bank money is paying salaries and paying people and employees, whatever the case may be. But so I just focus on the people because I know that people gonna help me get to my goals and my dreams. So like I don't really be focused on the bag. I'm like, it's cool, whatever. I'm gonna get that bag, whoop whoop. But I'm always thinking about the next play, the next development. Like, okay, damn, nigga get this 4 million. What's next? I'm trying to get me an apartment. I'm finna do this. I'm finna do that. I'm always like a ghost. Like I'm trying to, what's next, bro? Like
instead of getting resting on your laurels, thinking about the next move.
Got to, you feel me?
So, you this is the 40 homes that you got to build. That's gonna be that deal.
Nah, so actually, I ain't even got to build 40 homes to make that.
Okay.
So on this, I got my one development on Pennsylvania Avenue. The city just like literally approved my replat, my final plat.
Okay,
last week. Okay.
What is platting with the city? Just real quick.
Yeah, my bad. So platting is like, so as a developer, right? I'm gonna break it down to what a developer is, right? A developer is an individual that buys land and builds new construction homes, right? Whether it's single family, multi-family, apartments, whatever, duplexes, townhomes, they basically build and develop raw land, right? Some developers buy land, go to the city, right? They hit up the city or they walk up to the city, whatever city you is in America, and you can replat the land, right? Because you want to get maximum use on one piece of property.
Gotcha.
The lot, as is, you may be only able to build one home. But if you go to the city and do some digging and some research on it, they may say like, hey, you can actually build 6 homes on this one lot. So you go through the replanting process to try to make it go from 1 home to 6 homes. So what I did on this one, I went to the city to try to get them to go from one house. Well, it was a church. So I bought a church. It was a whole lot of stuff with that. But I bought a church. I had to basically pay off the church to leave. They weren't paying no rent. So I had to pay the church. I had to pay bro like 10 bands to get him to leave so he can transition to wherever else he was going to go to. So I paid him 10 bands, bought the church for $130,000. So I paid 130 bands. Ooh, there you go. Ooh, da-da-da. Had to pay him another 10 for him to slide, for him to clear it. So that 140. I spent that 140, went to the city, like, hey, I want to turn this church that I'm about to tear down into 8 homes. So I went to the city, replatted it, and went through a whole year legal process with civil engineers, structural engineers, talking to this city department, that city department, in order for us to all come together with one clear mind on how we're gonna do this development, right? They're asking, well, do we need to get street lighting? What about, this alleyway? It's a lot of back and forth comments, whatever.
Sewer and all of this.
Infrastructure. It's a lot of stuff that goes.
That red tape that people be talking about.
Yeah. But I went through that. Finally, got it approved, and now I'm able to, make it do what it do, make money on. But that's just one piece of the $4 million I'm making. That's one deal. I got some lots that I'm doing some $1 million deals, right? So my $1 million homes, I make much more, right? Mm-hmm. I'm gonna make 500. I'm gonna make $500,000 easy or plus on a
just one sale.
Yeah, on a $1 million something home, like a $1.5 million home. I make like 500, whatever. Give or take, depending on how much I paid for the land. So I got a couple of those. Like I got like a lot of that type of stuff. Like it's mixed in to get me to that $4 million. And my business model is not hard if I work it the way I need to work it. You feel me? Mm-hmm. So
I got a question with the $1 million homes, right? Or even just with the development in general. What type of money are you putting into? Huh?
I was wondering if you about to ask my question.
Is that what you were asking?
My question
okay.
different.
What type of money are you putting into that, right? If you building $1 million home that you're gonna sell, how much did it actually cost you to make that, to build that $1 million home?
I mean, every area is different, but I give you a real life example. Mm-hmm. So I got a house I just built. I bought the land for $250. It was a home, knocked the home down. The construction cost was like $750. Right, to get into the deal, I had to put down whatever I had to put down. So my loan on that home was like $915.
Okay.
I'm probably gonna sell this house for. This market is a little different.
This is the one in Mid Hollow?
Nah, I got another one.
Okay.
So I got my personal home over there, and I got another one. So my personal home, we ain't gonna talk about my personal home. I'm just gonna talk about this deal.
That one pressure, by the way.
Yeah,
just saying.
Hey, it's pressure.
Go follow on Instagram.
Go follow
on Instagram.
All grams, no scams. Yeah. You feel me? But so this house, bro, cost me about, we'll call it $1 million for perfect math purposes, and I can sell it for like, if I want it gone quick, I probably sell it for like 1.75. I could probably get 1.885. If we was in the old market before the interest rates, messed up the world, I would have got probably 2 million, 2.1. But hey, we in a different market.
Yeah.
So you would have put in $1 million and pulled out $1 million.
Yeah, I would have made like 1.1, but now I'm gonna probably make like, after realtor fee, because you got fees. So like a lot of times people count, they don't tell you how this all work. You feel me? Yeah. So you gotta, if I'm selling a house for 1.8 million, right? So I gotta pay realtors, the buyer's agent, I gotta pay the seller's agent.
That's 6% off the dump.
That's 6% off the purchase price.
Yeah, the purchase price, not off of what you making. So at 1.8 million, I gotta pay 6% on my nigga. That's 108,000. Boom, that's gone. Plus closing costs. So closing costs about 1 or 2%. So if you do 1.8 million times 8%, I got to pay 144 bands in closing costs, roughly.
So that's out of your profits.
That's out of my profit. Yeah. So if I built it for $1 million and then I'm selling it for 175, so you do that 750 minus 144. So you making about 606.
606.
Yeah, you still making good money.
Great money.
Yeah, great money. Yeah. So that's why I said $500,000 more realistically. I like to undersell and over deliver than like, oh, I'm gonna make. Cause I could easily lie and say, oh yeah, I'm gonna make $800,000-$900,000, but now nigga, you gotta pay closing costs, and that's 150 bands. Like out of my damn, it's gone. I gotta pay realtor. I gotta pay people. Now to them, you know, to a realtor, that's a big check. Like you just made 3% on a $1.7 million house. That Lord, you made 50-something bands. That's still good money for just finding a buyer, but the reason, right, people at that price won't get paid as well as they do. Like you have to it ain't as easy as just let me just list your house on MLS and sell it.
The transaction time longer.
Transaction time can be longer, but that person has to have a different type of network. It's just like for niggas in the street selling dope, like you got a different type of network that's buying cocaine. Like most regular black people not buying no cocaine. Just like most regular people in general ain't buying no $1.5 million house. Your network is a lot different. You know a lot more affluent people. You know, you got certain networks. You know, you got that realtor should be able to get your home, your listing, the publications. You know, these fancy, rancy-pantsy publications and stuff.
The ones that the people with the bread gonna actually be reading.
You be reading, you know what I'm saying?
On some HGTV
This
type
ain't
shit.
that Zillow shit right here.
No, this ain't no Zillow. Like, these niggas on golf courses, brokering deals, they country clubs, like, they talking to some people. And we're in Dallas. I'm blessed and fortunate, you know, to be living in Dallas where, man, this is the corporate mecca. People got money here. They're executives, they're partners at law firms. It's a lot of people that got money here. And me, like, I separated myself because, like, I've learned really quickly, like, bro, as a black man, you got to take your pride out of it. If you in this $1 million game, bro, they can't know it's a black man that's building these homes. So you gotta take your black face off, unfortunately, because whether you like it or not, we all using the same Mexican contractors to build these homes. But for some reason, because you black, they think you got less quality. It's just the prejudice.
That's crazy when you really say it, but that's really the truth. That's the hard, real deal Holyfield, yeah.
Because they feel like you're less competent to actually get the job done.
And that's bullshit.
That's bullshit because it's Mexican and black people building all these homes. But for some reason, the white end user or whoever that is that's buying a home, for some reason they have this stench or this hysteria, right? That we cut corners, which I would agree. Which is why it's hard for me to partner with a lot of people. I haven't really found capable, like trustworthy, like black people to really go into business with and run this bag up. So I can understand where they coming from, but I've just learned, like, bro, you gotta humble yourself and be like, bro, it's about this bag. Like, everybody ain't gotta know that I built this house. Which is why I posted less and less on social media, because I started to notice, like, okay, for some reason people have this weird, oh, if a black person built it, then something must be wrong with it.
I mean, we've seen that with, like, it's, for some reason when it comes to black people in real estate, they just automatically devalue it. But I think that's one of the things, we had that conversation before. We need more black appraisers to combat that racial bias in that, because it's an obvious real racial bias there. And I talked with an appraiser, a brother named Marcus Hill. Shout out to Marcus.
Nah, for sure.
He was letting me know it's only like 4% of appraisers are black.
That's
it's like
crazy.
Accountants, bro. Like very niche stuff. But
even with engineers, I think only 2% of engineers are black.
Yeah, like it's very niche, but that shit. This is what makes a big difference in the wealth gap. We talked about that with Vernon when we talked with him. The number one driver, like, okay, so Black Wealth Renaissance. The thing that started us getting on this wheel was we seen the statistic. 2053, the black family net worth 0, right? The number one driver for wealth is real estate. We know that. Part. The reason the difference between the net worth of a homeowner and a non-homeowner, I want to say it's like $8,000 for a non-homeowner versus $175K. If less black people own houses and less black people are involved in real estate in the process of generating wealth in real estate, we're always going to be behind the 8 ball. So it's important we have these conversations, like, even when you saying that, like, this is something where people got to wise up. Like, okay, I get into the development, maybe I do need to move a little different. So I kind of want to ask you, what's some of the things whenever you're moving in these spaces that you've had to do differently to make sure that you're getting these deals closed?
Man, it's a lot of things, bro. Like, I think the biggest thing I learned, especially when you dealing with bigger bags, I'm not dealing with no $50,000 bag, no $100,000 bag. I have some deals that I'm making in some real paper. I got the proofs in the pudding. Like, my Cedar Hill home, I made well over $400,000. Like, I've done that. When you're dealing at this higher level, it requires a high level of thinking. and you have to dot your I's, cross your T's, and you have to be an expert. When you speak to this title company, you got no more than them, especially as a black person. When you speak with your lenders, you always got no more than them. You gotta be thorough with your paperwork. You gotta get a legal team, cause these are all the people you gonna need at the table when it comes to like playing with them boys, like playing with that. In the hood we call it playing with that magic, playing with that salt. You know what salt is like. And you can't be no goofy. You feel me? You gotta know what's going on, bro. Like, cause if you don't, in the streets you can get killed, and in this business, man, your reputation can be killed. So you gotta know how to talk, conduct business. You gotta be a consummate professional. Stand on business. Learn how to enunciate yourself. So like, I code switch. I could be a hood Will when I'm talking with these bankers. Like, I slow down and I enunciate myself like I'm doing now. Good morning, John. When we talk about this deal, we're gonna break it down this way. Da da da. You gotta know how to move in these different circles and show them you ain't no goofy or you ain't no lame. You feel me? So it's just like that's one of the biggest pieces of information I can get anybody. You gotta know your business. You gotta know your stuff. And you gotta become a student of finance, like supply chain, because you gotta know how to get your products to lower those costs. I'm able to get the profits I'm getting. Same person doing the same thing I'm doing probably would have got made $400 because they don't know how to cut their costs. Or they probably made $350 on a house I'm making $600 something. Because supply chain means a lot. That's how my costs go up. So like, I don't know if that answers your question. Like, you feel me?
No, it does. And then you kind of answered one of the questions I wanted to ask you as well.
Before you go into another question, I kind of just want to highlight what you're talking about with the appraisal in the black neighborhoods and everything like that. I just looked it up. I was looking for the stat. So there is, once again, black neighborhoods are valued way differently than white neighborhoods. So the average home for white Americans is $440,000 versus the average home in a black neighborhoods being $230,000, and
so
almost half, right? So that's $10,000 of net worth that's being taken away from black people due to, and they even did a study where if you cross a specific like zip code, or you could be in the same zip code, but you can go over a certain road or something, right? And the homes can be similar, almost identical, with the same features and amenities, but this home would appraise for far more than what what the black neighborhood would appraise for. So I wanted to just talk about some of the ways that we're being robbed of our wealth by not being given a fair shake of our value of our homes.
Yeah, so back in the day, I did a video a while back about redlining, and what I talked about in it is, what the enemy meant for bad, God meant for good. So back in the day what redlining is, and a lot of people that's that's gonna be looking at this podcast, they probably have a general idea, but essentially all across America, it's kind of weird. Like in Florida, they put all the niggas in the flood zones. But now it's kind of like I said, what the devil meant for bad, God meant for good. Now all the white, they white nieces, nephews, and people that came after them, they want to be by the beach. In these same places that were flood zones, they want to be there now. Now the homes, back in the day, was worth nothing, but now they're worth hundreds of thousands of dollars more. No different than Dallas, right? They put the niggas in just about any hood you can think of. Fair Park, South Dallas,
all of that.
But they close by downtown. What the devil meant for bad, God always turns around for our good. That the future, generations can be a blessing to it. You know what I'm saying? And that's all across the country, bro. No matter where you go, they always for some reason put the niggas near downtown.
That's real. That's facts.
That's facts. Yeah. In the city is what they call it.
In the city, but the inner city, man, it's the best city, man. Cause like years from now, it's always the biggest real estate play. It's always the place where they want to put these tall skyscrapers and buildings. And now, everything has changed though, from architecture, what people like. People want to be able to wake up in the morning and see downtown Dallas, downtown Atlanta, downtown Memphis, downtown Miami, downtown Fort Lauderdale, downtown LA. No matter, it works the same way. Any downtown you go to in the world is hood as hell.
You're right.
It's homeless people. it's just like, what the hell? And then, you know,
shit, Opelousas at fucking Lafayette. Hood as fuck downtown.
You know what I'm saying? But you can go build a house down there if you got a good enough. You nigga pay a premium price for it.
Mm-hmm.
If it's in
the convenience.
Yeah.
Especially whenever you, like you said, you targeting that certain demographic. They got a law firm downtown. Why? Yeah. And people like that, they value time. So they gonna pay a premium to say, okay, I can cut my commute time down to work, and then I'm at a premium viewpoint.
Premium viewpoint. That's how the game go. Like, that's why I started building in Fair Park. Like, I'm like, dang, bro, I got a downtown Dallas view. Like, nigga, I'm finna buy some land over here for the cheap. And I wasn't the first to start buying land, but I was one of those early adopters, and I was one of the first people that had that vision on my section of Fair Park. You know, on Latimer Street, nobody had ever gone over 500,000. People thought I was crazy. Like, I ain't know what the hell I was talking about. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, he goofy. He tripping. He ain't gonna sell that house for no 550,000. And I did.
Not no black neighborhood. Not no historically black neighborhood.
You feel me? Not no Fair Park. It's MLK right here. And I did it. Because God tell you to do something, you just do it, bro. Like, and it's verifiable proof. 3112 Latimer Street, Dallas, Texas 75215.
My boy said, look it up in the county records. Don't play with them.
Don't play with me. Like, it's just, you know.
So I do have a question with that, right? So with that, how do you also not displace some of the people that's in the neighborhood whenever you do something like that?
That's a real good question, dog. So, you know, a lot of times you get the question about gentrification, but I look at it like this, like, what has plagued our community for so long is we don't own nothing. Mm-hmm. So when you look at it from a displacement perspective, when you look at the data, the analytics, and the statistics, the actual data, everybody there is renting homes from white investors, Indian investors, other ethnicities, Jewish, whoever, which, you know, I got no issues with my other folks, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not pushing nobody out. The developers aren't pushing people out. It's the people who own these homes.
And they gonna raise the rent.
This home, they raising the rents. Like, and they're in it to make profit. No one, when you're building generational wealth, no one buys a home for it to be worth the same price that you bought it for 5 years ago. That's crazy as hell.
That's not an investment.
That's not an investment. Like, you don't buy a stock and then say some crazy ish like, damn, y'all raising up I gotta pay more taxes on my dividends on my stock. Why the hell y'all doing this? You're not gonna say that. You gonna gladly pay them damn extra dividends on them stocks. No different when I hear this notion of, y'all displacing these people, y'all developers. I'm like, first and foremost, you know, Auntie Sally Mae don't own that damn house. She rent the house. You know, so it's this weird thing that these people own these homes and most of them don't. Because a lot of our grandmas, you know what I'm saying, they got into bad loans. We didn't understand finance. We didn't understand banking. And we lost those homes a long time ago. Now we renting them. So it's not a lot of people whose grandmas own stuff anyways. So when they start talking about this displacement stuff, it's just not entirely true. Mm-hmm. So in my experience in Fair Park, a lot of those people rent. They don't own. So like, it's hard. It's kind of impossible for me to displace somebody that didn't never own something to be displaced from. You know, the real issue is at a city level. You know, the city has so much land. They got these land banks, and they're the people who are supposed to do affordable housing. It's not on the developer to build affordable housing. It's on the city. This is what we pay taxes at. And, you know, they have a cost basis for a reason. So when people like me go to the city and I want to replat land, it would be in their best interest from a tax basis perspective to allow me to build 8 or 12 homes. But for some reason, the city, to me, are the biggest oppressors. They're still in that same archaic, like, you know, not gentrification, but red line mindset. Keep niggas here. We're going to keep y'all there. And when you look at their systems and their processes and the people that's been working there for 30, 40 years, they're one of the few entities in which, you know, some dude who, you know what I'm saying, was working there since the 70s is still working there. And we know he's working in the 70s.
Yeah, he still got that same mindset.
He got that same mindset. So, you know, they try to put the onus on developers and, you know, builders. It's like, you know, we in it to make money like anybody else, but that's the city's job. That's not our job. Like, the city has taxpayers' money, and they have to get more creative in creating, like, you know what I'm saying, affordable houses for these people and partner with the right builders and developers to actually execute it. That's not the responsibility of a builder or a developer. It's impossible. It's only it's so many. It's 100 the builders and developers, and is the city's the city. It's their job. It's not our job. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a good answer, bro. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
I'll let you get into it now.
No, I don't even want to go into that one because he answered my question on that one. But Will, I did want to ask you this because obviously you've been in the development game almost a decade now at this point.
Yeah.
You recently started your own course to start helping people learn how to do development the right way. For the people who they're hearing this, they're like, man, this brother understands it, like, and they want to tap in. How can they learn more about real estate development with you?
Yeah, like I would tell anybody, like I get like 1,000 DMs, bro. And I ain't no cap, bro. I would show you, like, man, my DM be flooded with people wanting to learn more about what it is I do.
How can I get started?
Hey, the biggest thing I tell people, dog, you know, I built this course because I want to give people that ground level framework to be able to, the things in which I've shared on this podcast, I want them to be able to talk like me and understand what it is that I'm saying, right? And then from there, you know, we could do more one-on-one, you know, let me help you and coach you in your first deal. Let me walk you through a deal. You know, and in my course I talk about, you know, the financing piece. A lot of the stuff I literally just talked about is in this course. Like, legit. Like, a lot of these gems I share is in the course on top of, like, I walk through an actual budget. This is how you create a budget, you know, for a house that you about to build. You know, land purchase, buying sheetrock, you know, foundation work from A to Z, you know, profit.
The fundamentals.
The fundamentals. Because if you don't have the fundamentals, having a conversation with me is pointless. Like, you finna pay me to do what? You finna pay me to talk with me for an hour on the phone, and you don't know none of these damn fundamentals.
Your situation not even right for you to take advantage of this.
Exactly. You don't got the bread. You just see me on Instagram. Man, this nigga making money. I want to do this too. Like, nah, bro. Like, invest.
It's some steps, brother.
It's some steps. Yeah. Like, invest this $1,000 and like I'm gonna take you to college. Go through my college course, get what you need, and then come back and holler at me. And then we can really talk about some next steps. Like, all right. Just like using the streets. All right, I'm about to give you this, see what you gonna do with it. All right, you brought that pack, you brought it back. All right, this little nigga, he a little hustler. All right,
cool, I might front you a little bit on the next one. I might front you a little
bit on the next one. All right, cool, bet. All right, next up, get you some business credit. This is what you gotta do. Okay, cool, boom. You got your credit scores to 680. You got your 50,000 business credit. Oh, damn. All right. We can actually put what you did in this $1,000 course to use now. Now that you got this business credit, 50,000, 100,000, 150,000. Oh, we can talk development. I can get into the big boy terms now because you can actually do something about it. You got 100,000. You can go do your first development. It's just teaching people that way, and that's why it's so important. I tell people the course is on that $1,000. Like, spend a little $1,000, do what you got to do. $1,000 ain't nothing. Like, if you can't spend $1,000 for the groundwork framework, what the hell we talking about? Trying to help you to make 100,000 when you can't even spend $1,000. This is how I see it. So,
right, that's good. And that mindset is the biggest part. I don't care how much money you got. If that mindset not right, you ain't gonna be able to take advantage of none of that shit. What's the name of the course as well, and where can they get it at?
Yeah, so the name of the course is Real Estate Development Made Easy, and the course is in the link in my bio on Instagram. You need to just look at the link in my bio. You can either subscribe, put your email, or you can go straight to the course. You literally click the link in my bio on Instagram, and it'll take you directly to the course. You can literally buy it right now as we speaking. You feel me? And then after that, I direct people to, kind of like get interactive with the course. You can post questions, comments, concerns, and then from there, we can do more one-on-one, like consulting on how to really go from A to Z on your first deal.
Okay. Yeah. So, hey, Will, can you do something special for our people, my brother? I got to ask you, man. We can drop it down there in the show notes for our people. A little special discount, maybe 10, 15, whatever, 15%, sure. whatever you want to do, whatever God put on your heart, my brother. Y'all know BWR, y'all know we be looking out for you, my wealthy people. We gonna build this wealth together.
Hell yeah.
Changing this there.
Big wealth energy.
Family. Big wealth energy.
You already know.
Season 5, you heard me. But Will, brother, appreciate you joining us, man. This has been a fire episode. We definitely gonna run it back, and I want to get some more content because, like, bro, we gotta pull up on one of this man development.
Yeah,
y'all need to see the work that this brother's doing because that house, when I say it's pressure, y'all go follow him on Instagram. Y'all go see what I'm saying. They'll be like, Dave, you was right. That shit is pressure.
I'm gonna go check
pressure,
it out.
not a
Man.
little pressure. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go check it out.
I'm telling
man.
you. But Will, again, appreciate you joining us, brother.
sure,
For
for
anybody that want to tap in with you, I know we mentioned your social. Can you let them know how they get with you on social? If they want to work with you, they're trying to buy a home. Let them know how they can tap in.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like, you know, you can reach out to me on Instagram, Purpose Builder DFW, on Facebook, Will Cyrus, email info@pbd like Paul Benny David HOME.com. Any one of those 3 ways, you know, you can holler at your boy. I got something for you. Sure.
Hey man, once again, appreciate you for coming through, my brother. This has been a great
$100,000,
episode.
no
Yeah,
scams.
Oh
yeah.
man, no scam. Yeah.
Hey, I love it, my brother. So for all the listeners, thank y'all for always rocking with us. Once again, we're going to keep on applying this pressure. We do have some more coming in the pipeline for you guys. I know it's been a little drought on our end, but we're going to make sure we
the
keep
drought
on.
is over, like it's over in Cali, you heard me? They about to get
We're
all
going
the
to make
rain,
sure we
getting
keep
the rain
on running
too.
it up. Once again, we had a few things going on, and we'll get into that on another episode. But y'all make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, leave a rating, leave a review. Let us know what y'all thought about this episode. Y'all make sure y'all tap in. Go to blackwealthrenaissance.com. If you're on your podcast app, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. I need all of that. I need y'all to make sure y'all tapping in. Also, shout out to the Black Men Summit. Black Men Summit is coming
I'm
back
glad you know, 'cause I'm
in
about to get on it.
Atlanta. Black Men Summit is in Atlanta,
November
November 4th. We
2023
back.
in
We back.
Atlanta.
We
back and
back.
we better. I'm back and I'm better. Black Men Summit going crazy this year, y'all.
Yes, sir.
Y'all make
Yes,
sure y'all
sir.
pull up. Early bird tickets are actually still available right
Yeah.
now. So don't miss out on this event, man. It's November 4th. We in Atlanta, man. I was about to say Dallas. We was in Dallas last year.
No,
We're in
Atlanta
this year.
Atlanta.
Man, we got
Anytime.
Pastor Jamal Bryant as one of the keynote speakers, and we got a lot more.
And we just
great
confirmed
speakers.
him 500, Marcus Barnett. So
Oh,
yeah,
come on. Yes,
we
sir.
lit.
So
We
yeah, look,
lit.
it's going crazy. Black Men Summit, fellas, you want to be there. This is the place for you to come as a king, as a leader in the community, to build with brothers and lead that legacy.
Our whole theme this year is celebrating kingship.
And you are that king.
Come be celebrated. Let's get into it. We're going to have some really, really dope stuff. Shea Moisture is our sponsor this year, so you already know how they coming. We're going to have a little grooming station. You're going to be able to get you a little, facial, make sure your skin right. We got some great stuff coming.
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? Being man ain't just all that rough and rugged shit sometimes.
Man.
We got to
So
keep it
come
sexy,
come
you
feel
know
like
what
a
I'm saying?
king. Like Prince Hakeem. They going to throw flowers at your feet when you pull up.
I want what he had on the little braid. I need the
little
jojoba
ducktail.
oil on my locks. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna make sure I'm feeling good. But,
Hell yeah.
man,
You had something else?
no, I ain't got nothing else,
Okay,
brother.
man.
Y'all, until next time, this is Black Wealth Renaissance.
Signing out.
Peace.
Peace.